You sent me to hell, Jason. I'm here to return the favor. I'm feeling strange, trapped in the grave. All alone, I rot in my own skin. So see if I say, a choking restraint. The perfect flame lays down my own name. Girls rising. Girls rising. The scars remain, a deeper to sing. A black field, blinded resource. From here I cling to the ones that remain. Exile without reason. The time to catch the feelings we relentlessly summon is clear to bow. We're building the power, strengthening the arm, and building the wall. Welcome to your demonstration.
What is going on, everybody? Here we are, episode 28, the Spawn review. We are ready. What better book to look at than Brett Booth's return, actually debut, I guess you could say, on Spawn, even though I only did some issues 300, did some pages in 300 or 301 or something like that. But Gunslinger was a big reveal for Brett Booth coming on a Spawn title a few years back now, and we're going to look at Gunslinger number 1 here. But before we do, how's it going, Paul? What's going on with you, man?
It is going really well. Just finished proofing Project Naosis episode 5.
Hell
and,
yeah.
it was a really good day and read some Spawn, catching up on some things, trying out some manga too. I never tried out manga and I started reading that too because I need all the influences. So I picked up Chainsaw Man. I just read that. I thought it was pretty good.
Is that good? I need to check that out. I've heard good things about that.
Weird. It's definitely some weird, they have weird names and stuff. There's some weird dialogue, but it's it made me want to get the next one, so.
That's awesome. I need to check it out. I've heard good things. I want to watch the anime. It just looks wicked. So I'm going to check it out at some point. Zach, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Honestly, just sketching out Gunslinger tonight. So I may not have them fully inked, but I'm just trying to get the drawing good and done so you guys can see it. And then I'll have it finished and posted up.
No, that would be awesome. Wherever you guys are watching, whether it is YouTube or it is X, please share this out, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let people know that we are live. And I say this all the time. Drop the link if you are mods in other people's chats. Let them know that we're streaming, and it doesn't matter what they're doing over there. Come and watch us. And if they get mad, let them know that I said it's okay. That's all you got to do.
Say, fuck them,
Well, I mean, I don't want to, I'll take the brunt, I will take the heat for everybody. So just know that. Do it. Do it now. We got say hi to the chat real quick. Mark Penguin was number 1 in the chat and number 1 in our hearts.
You're number 1.
Great to see you, brother. Thank you for being here. As always, we also have Michael Pritchard in the house. 6 p.m. West Coast time. Okay. I do have to apologize. There are some times when I set up the show that I forget to put PM and I put AM. So some of you were in the chat this morning at 9 a.m. ready for the show, and I do apologize for that. So that's my bad. I corrected it. It's going to happen every once in a while. Yes, yep, it's all on me. Usually the show drops Mondays at 9 p.m., so that is my bad. We got Twisted Dreams in the house. How's it going? Comics Life? Yes. That's what we are about here. This particular show, we talk about Spawn, but we have another show, Appreciating Comic Book Art Live, that will be back at some point, where we just look at comic books and we appreciate the art. That's what we do here. Comic book talk all week long. We got Hail the Lore in the house. Gunslinger 1 is one of my absolute favorites. Mine too. Chainsaw Man is rad. I keep hearing that. I really do.
He takes the look is killer. Little tiny puppy and fuses with it, and then he becomes Chainsaw Man. And it comes out of his
wait. He takes a puppy?
So it's
explain that again.
So there's this little demon things, and they kind of look like, the best way to put it, it looks like a little hot dog with a chainsaw on it.
Okay.
And they were best friends, and when he died, he said, "You're allowed to possess me," and the thing possessed him, but it comes out through his face, and then he turns into the Chainsaw Man.
Okay, I did not know that. That is new.
Yeah.
That is new. I will check that out. Interesting.
It's definitely weird as fuck. You know what I mean? I never read anything that was like anything similar, so I guess like I understand. And then I read this other manga too. I forgot what it was. I need to look up the name.
All right. Well, I'm gonna check that out at some point. We got pizza in the house saying hello to you. YSA is here as well. Great to see you guys. And for everybody who is here early with us, I just have one thing to say to you.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, that's it. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Hold on a second. Oh shit. Okay, hold on a second. We got our friend jumping on here. I did not know if you were going to make it. The Gooch is here.
She's up and running around. She's totally fine now. So yeah,
good. I didn't want to say your personal business out there, so I was just trying to find a way to be like, the Gooch didn't make it tonight, so I wasn't quite sure who knew what was going on.
We had a scare. The dog was not look like she was very lethargic. She's still she's only like 10, 11 months old.
Oh yeah.
So she had like to me it seemed like she had a really bad bug, and then we gave her some Pepto-Bismol, and she's like rested, and then she's biting everything and running around and doing everything that the puppy should do. Yeah, so all good.
That's what I was hoping when you first said that there was an issue going on. I was like, man, I hope it's just some kind of bug going on with her. No, I'm good. That's glad to hear. Well, what's going on with you, man? How you doing? Besides all that.
Well, I just saw you a couple days ago on your show here. So
yes, you did.
We had a good time. We had a good time. That was a lot of fun.
That was fun. A little out of your element. You know, you don't usually talk the conspiracy stuff, but I thought it was a fun conversation between the three of us, even though like everybody was beat. I was probably the most awake, but you know, I was proud that you guys stayed as long as you did. We talked some aliens. Yeah. On the Ronan Joe show.
You motherfucker.
Do you need an invite next time?
Bruh, how do you talk about aliens and not invite me?
I'll drop you an invite next time, man. Yeah.
Son of a bitch. It's too late.
Well, it's not going to be the last time I talk about aliens and conspiracies on one of my other shows.
Right, well, what specific aliens are you going to talk about next time? Because
I don't know. It's just whatever pops in my head that I want to talk about. You know,
all right.
I never know when it's going to happen. It just does. So, all right. Let me bring up this book here that we're going to look at tonight. Did everybody get a chance to read it, or have you read it before?
I was reading it. Oh, there's an echo here. Zach.
Come on, Zach.
Bro, that's got to be your mic for sure.
Mine? No, it's not mine.
It's got to be yours.
No, it's not mine. I was just on Badgers like over an hour ago. No, I was reading it, and then I had that emergency situation, so I had to, deal with like a lot going on here. But I got about 7 pages in.
Okay, right on. What was interesting is going back and reading this book, I forgot that it had 3 backup stories. And so I read them for the first time so that we could, talk about it. And I liked the backup stories. They were pretty good. Paul, what do you think about the backup stories? Because I know you read the entire thing.
Yeah, I like the full stories, and then the full story, and then I like the backup stories because they give you hints of like the topics they were going to go over, and it was cool to just get another person's perspective, and it's good to give other people some art jobs, so it's good to keep the book real good. And I remember when he first did it, it was so big to do the number 1, so like he even did it with the latest one. He had to throw more pages in. It's going to get the people to buy it, and hopefully they enjoy it after.
Yeah. No, I mean it was pretty good. Like obviously I was here for the Brett Booth stuff specifically, which was really good. Good setup, I thought. Ends in a cliffhanger like you always want it to. So hopefully everybody in the chat, if you haven't read Gunslinger 1, maybe it will make you go back and check out the first issue and then jump in to the ongoing series. I don't know if you guys heard that. I think my wife must have moved something. I'm right below the kitchen, so if the chair moves or the table shifts in any kind of way.
We're all full of sounds tonight. We're all full of sounds.
I know. Joe needed a clip of Iron Man saying, "Was I the only one that did the reading?" That's actually a great idea. From Twisted Dreams. That is a great. I'm going to do that.
No, I always do the reading too.
Yeah,
it's just Zach who fails us all the time.
No, I've read.
Zach's usually the one.
I have these issues. I've read these. I know. Fuck you.
You're a lore master. You're a lore master. It's okay.
No, usually we're pretty on top of things. Sometimes stuff gets in the way and it's all good, but that's why we have many people on the panel so we can all fill it in and piece it together. So it's all good. But I will get that. I like that. That's a great idea.
It's really accessible. I have the tablet, and when you read it on a tablet like this, it's honestly not bad at all. Like that's how I read I was reading a lot of the Spawn stuff now on this app, just because it's cool.
Oh, I see. We got a tablet reader over here. That's how you read comics now? All about the technology, not going out and going to your local comic store?
3 copies of Cover A from Gunslinger, and I didn't want to open up any of them. So I kept it sealed. I have a whole Spawn section. I'm good. I wanted to even open it, do like a different thing. And I was just like, no, there's no way.
I was just going to say, I've actually been enjoying doing this digital stuff that we've been doing on this show from this website. It saves me time instead of having to go and record every single page like I used to.
Yep.
Which I'll still do for Appreciating Comic Book Art Live and stuff. But this has been nice, So Jamie East is in the house. Great to see you, girl. Hope all is well.
Hello.
Right. We are going to dive into this. Let me see. Is this?
No. And this is a great cover. So Cover A is fantastic.
On top is good.
The only thing about the on top with this one is it makes the screen smaller. There's nothing I can really do to make it bigger.
Well, phrasing.
Oh, don't clip that. Somebody clip it. But also, I get the stupid ads on the side, so we can cover up those ads, except for this one right here, which is stupid. That's the only thing. I can't get rid of that ad too. I can't X that one out.
And they, I forgot about the cool variant covers. Like I saw that I stuck with the Cover A's, but these were really cool covers that they had for the variants, and I only remember the one that connected.
I got the Capullo and the Booth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your praising makes it bigger. That is true.
I hope
you feel better.
I'll say, as cool as the covers were, I wasn't that crazy about these issues in the story, not the artwork. The artwork is phenomenal, but the story I wasn't that crazy about because
what?
All right,
tell him, man.
Okay, so this goes in accordance to when the holes got the dimensional rift, where all the spawns are trapped and they can't go back to their time. And when he Al Simmons closed them, he sucked in all variations of Spawn from different times in different areas.
Yeah,
all onto Earth. I don't know. When I was reading Gunslinger, or before I bought Gunslinger and I was heading into the series, I was under the impression that the story was going to get told differently. Whereas for example, like in the first, as we get into this first issue, like we got this white boy who, explains to him what a motorcycle is,
don't switch from the 1800s, like,
I understand.
That's the humor in it all.
I don't know. It's just when you got
this awesome.
So you were not a fan of the dialogue then.
I loved it.
Not so much. Spawn's Universe, like Spawn's Universe, one shot, which was supposed to be the celebratory issue that was going to be a lead into these titles that were about to come out for the Spawn's Universe. And there was that Brett Booth story where he is hanged, he's cut up in pieces, and he's kind of flashbacking it a little bit, trying to figure out what he's going on. And I'm thinking, okay, we're going to get some of that revenge, trying to figure out who he is, his past, stuff like that. And I thought it was really, really cool. But then we get into, him being stuck on Earth, which was what we were all expecting. But I thought we were going to get tidbits mixed back and forth in his past, in current time frame at the same time, in the same story. Not, hey, we're going to have the main story, which is him completely on Earth, and then we're just going to have a small tidbit backstory done by a different artist as a bonus.
The second book talks, it dives back into his history with his sister and everything that happened there. I like the Tarantino effect where they start a time period and then they kind of work their way back and then they come back to the present. I like that.
That's a great way of putting it, because I kind of thought the same thing too. And this is the first time actually reading the book, because I'll tell you, everybody, usually when I get comic books, it's for the art, and if I got time, I'll actually read it. But for the Spawn review, I actually go back and read the issue so we can talk about it. And so reading this issue for the first time, I noticed the jumping around, like as we'll see as we go into the issue. And I was like, oh, I never caught that before, because I never was really paying attention. Before we get going here, though, Dennis Allen did jump in the house. Good to see you, brother. I don't think I made a shout out to the member of the channel, Cosmic Studios. I made a new thing just for the members. Shout out to you guys.
What are you doing up? Oh my God! I'm sorry. I can't stop coming. I'm sorry. Oh, it feels so good.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate the support.
Where the fuck?
That is the best
What
clip.
movie is that from? What
movie is that from? Grandma's Boys.
Kids watching, bro.
I have not seen that.
This is not a kids show, everybody, just so you know.
I gotta fucking see that movie though.
Pizza's drawing berserk. Nice. We got Skunk Snot in the house. Hail to the chat. Hail to you, my friend. Thank you for being here. All right, let's jump into this. So this is Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, issue 1. We went through all the covers. I have to say the only cover I really did not like was Kirkman's cover, even though it was inked by McFarlane. I'm looking at this. I'm just like, I don't.
Yeah,
and it's
artistically wise,
Kirkman,
I don't
right?
get it. Yeah, Tyler Kirkman. Yeah. I just don't get it.
Scary because his covers are so fantastic. I see he does a lot of stuff with Unknown Comics right now, and they come out so good. And I didn't even know this one existed.
I mean, I haven't seen a lot of his stuff except for this. I don't like it.
An homage to me, the Gooch shot. I appreciate it.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Tyler
exactly.
Kirkman has done a lot of good work. And my favorite was Green Lantern Corps.
As far as
for Tyler Kirkman
Capullo,
stuff,
baby.
He did a lot of Venom covers and the Absolute Carnage stuff.
Wait. Yeah. So this is one of the variants. I don't know if it's the 1.5 or whatever, but just beautiful pencil version of Capullo's cover. No, I don't think this is Tyler Kirkman. I think this is Robert Kirkman.
Yeah, Robert Kirkman.
Yeah, this is Robert Kirkman.
If it's Robert Kirkman, I want it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I wasn't a big fan of it, but
I see you simping over there.
But he's not really an artist. You know what I mean?
He actually started. He tried to break into the industry as an artist, but just couldn't make it.
Yeah.
I kind of like when the writers try to take a swing.
Thank you.
And he's a mega millionaire from this shit.
I mean, I like a good crotch angle. Don't get me wrong. I just not a big fan of that art. By the way, shout out to you, Eric the Guapo. Good to see you, brother.
Silvestri does that the best. Him and Jim Lee do that the best.
Yeah, exactly. The guys from the 90s, they do the crotch shots the best. All right, let's dive into this story. Just so you know, we've got Brett Booth doing the majority of the pencils, and we have 3 backup stories by Thomas Nichulik or something, Phil Tan, and Kevin Keane. So, yeah, we jump right in. Off the bat, maybe somebody can explain this because it is picking up from somewhere, right? Because we get one panel of Al Simmons, and then it just breaks right into Gunslinger's storyline.
Yeah, it's exactly what Zach was saying. He pulled them all in. He doesn't understand where they come from. He doesn't even really know Gunslinger at all. I think what's that one book? The other book there that came up before this. God dang it. Not King Spawn, but the other one. Scorched. Scorched.
Yeah. Scorched. Okay.
Yeah. That's where they were like teamed up. And you saw a little more between the two. They actually went face to face and he wanted to fight Spawn. But I like this, but the lettering, dude. Something with the letterings just didn't work in this book.
You didn't like the lettering in this one either? It's the same guy that letters the main book, I believe.
No, like
let me
the
look.
bubbles. I'm talking about the action letter.
It's Tom Orzechowski, whatever his name is. Interesting.
What do you mean, like the actual bubbles, or the square ones, or the sound effects?
No, the sound effects, the actual.
Yeah, a Haroom.
The sound. Okay, yeah. All right.
And I think this, like, you can definitely see that, like, Brett Booth got really comfortable drawing Spawn now compared to how this was before. I feel like this looks very looks very DC Comics, and I feel like now it looks like, Spawn.
Have a good night, Timescales. We also got Kunto Hair in the house. Great to see you. And Dennis Kelly is reminding us that it is, anytime we talk about Brett Booth on this channel, it is custom to say Brett motherfucking Booth. So thank you for the correction. Appreciate you.
Get a motherfucking button.
Yeah, I need to get one of those. Yeah, there's a couple things. I'm revamping the channel and doing some new things. You guys are gonna see as we go forward. I'm gonna have some new bells and whistles for everybody.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh wow.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, it's just kind of explaining. We get dropped right into like the end of a conversation as Spawn is kind of, I don't know, basically letting him know what's going on. That he's new to the planet, new to everything that he's doing here. And he's got this motorcycle, which I'm assuming they established in Scorched or whatever issue that.
No, we learned about that book 2 or 3.
Okay.
Motorcycle.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I haven't actually read these books. Like, I've just looked at the art. So going forward, do more of these books, you know, it's going to make a lot more sense. Yeah, I got it. But this is where Zack had a little issue, I think, with the writing, where I actually thought it was kind of funny, you know, with McFarlane kind of throwing in a lot of the time traveler tropes, right? You know, a man out of time, you know, he has no idea. They talk about like this 2-wheeled contraption or whatever it is, you know, and he doesn't understand the motorcycles. I'm surprised he knows how to write it, but it's funny seeing him deal with real or current world technology as a Hellspawn.
Yeah, I think it was really cool. I personally like the tropes. He's never been there before. He's not going to be like, wow, this cell phone works so well. Let me make a phone call real quick. You know?
Right. Yeah.
So I personally liked it. And I really like the style. It's really enjoyable to read. And I think the story's paced very well. From the first page, even without reading Spawn Universe, I felt like I knew what was going on. It says it there, you know, trying to figure out why he isn't in the year 1864, you know, that's it.
We got Eric in the house. So you guys see the newly announced books and covers: Medieval Spawn miniseries and Blood Ritual Book of Nyx. I saw the Book of Nyx. Oh shit, we lost the gooch. I saw
one of the Medieval Spawn ones, and they looked really cool. But they're doing more than one Medieval Spawn series. They're doing one, I think that's like one time period, and they're doing another one that's a different time period with 2 different artists.
Okay.
Damn it, dude. There's only so much I can afford. Like, that's it.
Well, I was just gonna say, I'll with all these books that come out, I'll try out at least one of them to see. Just like with Rat City, you know, I bought one issue to see what was up. Decided I didn't like it, so you know, we'll get into the Book of Nyx. I think seems interesting. I think Thomas Healy is actually writing that book. I'm really looking forward to the Medieval Spawn series. I didn't know there were multiple series, so we'll jump into that when they drop. And obviously, we cover the newest issue of Spawn every time it drops as well. We got the World at War comics. All right, I got it. Hello to you. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you guys. And anybody that is new to the chat, if you're joining us for the first time,
welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, World at War Comics makes great Kickstarter books. He goes to all the conventions. Super awesome guy.
Nice.
So shout out.
Well, welcome. Thank you for being in the chat. Remember to subscribe if you're new to the channel. And catch us every time we go live and talk Spawn or any kind of comic books that we talk about. And then I also have a show where I just kind of shoot the shit with the chat, talk conspiracies sometimes. We'll see if Jay gets back. Oh, there he is. Just as I say, he pops right back in. There he is.
What happened there?
I don't know. Somebody kicked you. They're like, there's too much Gucci-ness, you know? Couldn't take it.
Yeah.
So we meet this character, which I thought was interesting that we see the last name of this character brought in some of the backup stories. So that's kind of cool. But Taylor, what is it? Bartlett? Can't remember his last name. He's kind of just a typical, fuck off college kid or teenager, I guess. Did they really establish his actual age? Because to me, he looks like he's drawn like he's, early 20s at least.
I want to say like, yeah, he's like 18, 19, maybe 20, some in that range. Like like reading the books, you get to know him and his parents in the second and third book. I like the conversations between him and Ramirez. Yeah, it's Ramirez, right? Yeah, it's Ramirez. Or Gunslinger. And I like the conversations that happen between, like, he's like just Google it. And he's like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
oh, what is he like? You giving me lip boy or something? He's like, no. Like,
yeah.
We've got So he's supposed to be watching this gas station, and his friends show up, want to party, so he dips. He's like, I'm out. Just as Gunslinger Spawn is showing up right at the gas station and finding the shack to be able to put his mechanical horse in.
Yeah, never had to do this with a real horse.
Detail.
Yeah, never had to do this with a real horse. Yeah. Again, I liked the dialogue. You know, I like Todd's writing. Has it always been stellar? No, I think he's gotten way better over the years, especially with dialogue. And I think he really hit it within the humor. There was subtle humor in this issue. You know, it wasn't like crazy serious. Like he really broke into like the humor of this. I mean, the way that these kids are just talking like just a bunch of dumb college kids that are just partying, stoned, drunk, you know, and that's, you know, this is exactly what they sound like. If you read the dialogue, I mean, it actually, you know, I laughed a couple times, you know, especially his friends like, he sharded himself, you know, I'm like, it's, you know, that's something I would say to my friends back in my
that's
20s.
Guys. Yeah, it's just guys being guys.
Yep. So I thought that was really well put together. Go ahead.
I think I think one of the biggest ways, I think deep down inside for me, because I got nothing against the story, I really wanted to see Western stuff. And and I think that got an answer because when the when the Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger book that just came out a couple weeks ago, when I got that and I read it, that was everything I wanted to read in Gunslinger. That's what I wanted, and I think honestly, I think that's what it is, because it was, for me, it was so weird to see Gunslinger fight Violator like later on in this run, and I just thought, you know, I think that would come in its own unique villains, you know, its own unique demons that they'd have to go up against. You see it in Curse, you know, Medieval, and then, you know, vice versa with Gunslinger. And I think I wanted to see some of that in this series. Maybe some of his old villains that came back to come get him. And in the first 9 issues, it's Violator is back. Like, you know, he's not actually dead from issue 300.
So, you ready for this? He's a different person when he comes here, right? He's a gunslinger. Like, he's a different character. He's not the same character he was even in the other Gunslinger book. He's a different.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yes.
He's a different face, different structure.
Okay.
The point is, and I think they didn't drag him. Shout out to my guy, World at War Comics. He interviewed Jimmy Pomalotti the other day, who was doing that Gunslinger book, and he basically kind of said that, like, it's his, like, he was hinting that he's dead and that he, like, reincarnates. Like, that's the power.
Okay.
That's exactly
you're telling me that Gunslinger's actual true power is that he reincarnates every time he actually dies?
I wouldn't say that's his actual, but when he does run out of juice, instead of going to hell, he takes another person.
Which is interesting because they show him in this book, like, he actually bleeds. He doesn't bleed the necroplasm that the other spawns bleed. You know, like, he bleeds actual blood. And that was something I noticed from the get-go. I was like,
hold on.
Do you remember in the second, or I think it was the second book, maybe it was the third, where he comes out of the grave where he was actually shot at, and the wolves come over to him, and he's like being reborn again, like reincarnated as Gunslinger. He's like, where's my hat? And like, he rises from the dead. He's kind of like Jason from Friday the 13th.
It gives him definitely a unique feel to his spawn, you know, compared to the other spawns. And I do like that they've set him apart in that way.
So, all right, back up for a second. So,
yes, backing up.
Because I know Spawn as a character in general has complicated powers that aren't really thoroughly explained to some extent. But so we know that when Al Simmons dies and he comes back, it has been proven that he is still the same guy every time. He is Al Simmons. He retains all his memories, and vice versa. But for Gunslinger specifically, the way that his powers work as a Hellspawn, that when the first person died and became the Gunslinger, when that Gunslinger, the first one, died, there's another individual that takes over the role of Gunslinger.
No,
it's him.
So it's him.
Yeah.
But so he loses.
It's almost like his.
No.
Okay.
It's almost like
he thinks he time jumped, but he's dead.
He's dead. Yes.
But now he's someone else. That's my assumption of what I've been picking up from what other people have been saying about it, and with kind of like everyone else that transported, they're the same person except for him.
That's fucking trippy, dude. And any,
that's how. That's why this book is so good.
Yeah, I gotta get back into reading the current.
Like it a lot more.
Books.
I'd have to reread these now.
Well, I've got all of well, I think I got most of Booth's run. I think I got all of Booth's run on Gunslinger. So I got to go through it and just catch up, especially after now I'm actually reading it. By the way, shout out to Paulus Arts. We got Edwin in the house as well. Did I miss somebody else I saw jump in here? Oh, Apex is in the house. And he says, I bet Joe can get Brett Booth for panel guest. Yeah, I've been talking to him. It's going to happen. We wanted to wait until after issue 361 dropped. So we all know that if you caught a few episodes ago, we covered 360, where it looks like Spawn is kind of, well, he was left for dead, and it looks like he's going to be getting his power back from Nick. So we're going to see what happens in issue 361. Once that drops, I'm going to, get with Brett and get with scheduling going, but we'll get him on the show, specifically kind of talk about.
He played Nyx.
Played Nyx.
Yeah.
He did it on purpose.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to get into it. Like that's gonna be a whole. It gets me so excited. I love it.
Hell yeah.
No, and I don't mean that in a way as if I can't. No, I don't mean that when I say it. I don't mean that in a way where I don't know what you meant. Character. I'm like, dude, Nyx sent him to hell, took his powers away from him. He does not understand Nyx's long end game. She knows what's going to go down. How do you it's? I know we're going to have to wait till the next issue, but to me, I just find it curiously strange on how Al is going to figure out how to play somebody who's already knows.
Al is a strategist. Like that was one of his things when we first were introduced to Al. Like he was in the militia because of all his strategies and everything. Like he knew how to plot and take out very tactically his enemy, like without anyone getting harmed. So that's why when he died, it was really a powerful moment because he got fucking twisted around.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna see really. Let's just jump back into this because we could talk about the new comic book and just get on a tangent when it comes to that, because we all got thoughts on. If you guys go back to episode 25, I think it was, when we looked at 360, and go back, watch that episode. There was a lot of good things, especially brought up by the Gooch, that we kind of talked about. It was a great discussion going into 361. I think it's going to be great. So check that out. I can't wait for that issue. Should be out, I think, maybe this week, next week. It's going to be pretty soon here.
Yeah, I think it's next week because I looked this week and there was nothing. I think last week was the Gunslinger stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But beautiful page, and I see what you mean on the clinks. Like, what is that shit? Like, that shouldn't even be there.
Yeah,
I get what you're seeing. Yeah, now you brought that. I thought you were talking about just the normal,
no.
scripting,
the lettering for the any kind of action or but even the motorcycle, it should have started off with a larger consonant or a vowel, and then moved into smaller lettering as he's kind of pulling away. So you got this powerful brr, and then but it's just one size font, and it's like, come on, dude. Like,
Jay, make that sound again.
That was great. Twisted Dreams. I have read Rook. Well, I can't say I've really read it, but I've checked it out. But a lot of people like the Ghost Machine.
Say the quote, dude. I looked at the art, bro.
I was gonna say you actually read Rook. I was like, because
I'm here for the art for the most part. But no, this was kind of funny. So Taylor he stumbles into the shack after realizing the door is open, and he sees apparently the motorcycle of his dreams. He goes over to it right off the bat and is like, yo, where'd you come from, baby? And Gunslinger pulls a gun right off the bat, and just here we go with some really good interaction and dialogue between these two characters going forward. The typical anti-hero kind of intimidation going on, and Taylor kind of plays off a little bit more of the comic relief. Spawn Gunslinger does that too with the out of place time character, the things that he doesn't understand. But I thought it was actually a very funny, kind of lighthearted interaction between these two characters that, again, I did not expect when I read this for the first time.
I'm pretty sure he's still around too, so it's a character that's growing with the book.
Yeah, because he was left in the hotel room with the shaman, and then we haven't really heard from him since, because there was so much happening. There was, I think we saw him when they went for the violator part, but he didn't really. Did he go with them? I can't remember now. But yeah, he's kind of been bouncing in and out of the books.
So the gunslinger's main purpose here is to try to get Taylor to figure out what the hell is going on with this bike, and we find out that it's basically just out of gas. And Spawn's just like, "What do you mean? What is gas?"
Read that bubble, dude. That big
Which
bubble.
one?
The end. The don't mess
with me, boy. What you talking about? What's gas?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, it's good.
He said, "Dude, you're just out of gas."
Yeah, crazy. And it's just funny too because he's just ready to kill him because he's just used to being in the Wild West during the Civil War where everyone
Dinosaurs. Brett just love doing this. We got an echo still, Zach.
Oh my god!
Come on,
and
Zach.
What made me happy about this, I was like, wow, all villains I don't know. So clearly there's some high stakes because he clearly kills these motherfuckers eventually.
Yeah. So you got angels here, and again. First time I was kind of encountering this, I really didn't really know the characters either when I was first reading the book. So it was fun going through this for the first time, experiencing it. So like that's what's kind of cool about these discussions is a lot of these books I have not read because I'm more of an art guy. So actually going through, I'm like, okay, like getting into the plot, like who is this character? Why are they trying to use Gunslinger? And they talk about Cagliostro specifically in this scene about what do they say exactly? Paul, fill it in here.
So we're all in agreement. Cagliostro's misguided attempts to recruit one of the new spawns backfired. Question is, what are you planning to do about it? Most importantly, is it going to conflict with what our side already is on? And, the other guy's basically just telling them to trust the process, so to speak, of what they're going to do.
So Gunslinger is important for a specific reason. Cagliostro was trying to recruit him for what he was doing. Whatever that was, I'm assuming in Scorched, as you guys were saying, that was leading up to this book, or the Spawn Universe one.
Spawn Universe was the
Spawn
kickoff.
Universe. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My bad. Yeah. So you get this very, a dark angel, right? You can tell with he's got black wings instead of white wings. He's very, very, very darkish.
And catching something from before, to fast forward, because I forgot that too. They're showing this guy, he's dark-winged angel, and then later they're like, this is how you kill a dark-winged angel, and they're like showing like the build-up to it. That just clicked in my head too from going like back to forth again from reading it today.
And I think this scene is actually one of the bounce scenes, right? Yeah. So this says coming in issue 3. So this whole scene, it's either the scene that's coming up or the scene that we just went through. It says coming in issue 3. So that's Todd doing the Tarantino thing that Gooch was talking about, jumping all around. And I like that because you don't see that a lot in comics, but I love when Tarantino does it in the movies. Is it for some reason it works really well and it keeps you intrigued,
Well, you're playing detective, right? And you're trying to figure out what's the plot, what's the storyline, and what direction is this going? Is this the end, beginning, middle? What are we doing here? Same with these books. You're invested. You're like, okay, we're getting introduced to all these characters. Where are we going with this? I want to, this is really cool. I want to follow this and figure this out. It's like a puzzle, right? So
yeah.
It's great.
For me, I think the biggest problem, sorry.
I was just reading Twisted Dreams said the Art and Geiger seems like it came from this. Well, that was, who did the Art and Geiger? It was,
I think it's Jacob.
Gary Frank.
Gary Frank.
Oh,
yes,
Jason
it was Gary Frank. Similar.
No, it wasn't Fabik. It was Frank.
Fabik does
Rook.
Yeah.
Oh, no, okay. So yeah, Gary Frank.
Similar style. Yeah. Like just I guess I see what you're saying with that. Yeah. All right, go ahead, Zach. I know.
I will say the biggest downfall, and I thought that was going to be quickly solved for the Spawn titles in the beginning, and I think they completely missed out on it, was the fact that they could have. They're doing all these titles. They have all these references that are going back and forth between these titles. It'd be nice if there was a fucking blurb in a text box that says, pick up Scorch to find out, like Scorch issue 1, or, you know what I'm saying? So as the issues are going, because and it's pretty obvious that as the series, for all these titles that came down, they reference each other back and forth. I mean, you read an issue, Spawn's got fucking wings fighting some rogue vampires, but what was the continuation of that? And then you had to pick up Scorched you had to for the answer how he got the wings and all these different things. Like, it would be nice if we got those, like, references back and forth. Pick up this issue.
Some of it seems convoluted. We've talked about that before on this show. Some of it is a little confusion when you go from different title to different title. Primarily, I'm paying most attention to Spawn and then trying to piece the pieces together with the other titles and see what's actually going to happen. I hope they bring it all together and it all makes sense. And I feel like they should. World at War Comics is just back. It looks amazing, Joe. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate the support. And this is for you.
And Bob, remember, you are my number one guy. Yes, sir.
Oh, rest in peace, Bob.
That was a classic clip. That is
yes. I haven't played that clip in a while. We used to do that all the time.
I know, that was a classic, dude.
Yeah. Like, crap. There's a few clips I have not played in a while. I'm trying to get back into doing it. I kind of got out of it for a little while when things were just chaotic, but yeah,
no, I'm enjoying it. It's good.
That's a good one. All right, so back to Taylor and Gunslinger continuing their fun back and forth here, where he's trying to explain that the motorcycle has horsepower, and Gunslinger is like, I know the power of a horse. He doesn't understand the terminology here, and it's just a good. This is where Gooch was talking about, where he's like, Google it. I thought that was kind of funny because I'm like, yeah.
He has no idea what the hell a cell phone is. He has no idea what any of this is.
Yep.
But there's a line coming up here where I'm just like, this is really wordy. And
tell us about it.
It'll come up soon here. Yeah, they're in Twin Buttes here, or Buttes, Montana.
Oh, I thought it was Butts too.
It's Buttes. It's actually
I just realized it's not. Yeah. That's funny. I just realized it's not. So this was actually kind of cool that Taylor, why do I keep calling him Tori? Taylor asked him how he survived all this time, and Gunslinger's pretty much like this. He opens up his coat jacket, and you got the, all the weapons, all the knives. The one thing I love about the Gunslinger character is like how armored up he is, but it's like old school, Western armor within the modern feel. Go ahead.
The thing about him too is the honesty. Like, he doesn't, but he knows how to be deceitful with honesty as well. Like, that's the beautiful thing about Gunslinger. Like, he'll tell you up front, but he also use that to deceive you. It's great character, very complex character. I like it.
I gotta get more into him.
His hat is the fucking icing on the cake, man.
Yeah,
even his hat has a purpose.
Yeah, and that's what I love about this scene. He's like, even my hat is for this little big ass knife.
Yeah,
like a knife.
But does he balance it?
I don't even know what he does with a fucking thing.
Is it all day just like you're just, like what they do in India?
Yeah. Well, it's actually in the back. One of the backup stories coming up, they show the hat and it's got like multiple knives within the hat. So, however they play with that is whatever they do. But everything he does has a purpose to it.
This line here, not if you're not one of them. Like, that is very wordy. Like, just doesn't roll properly.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So like, he could have phrased that a little differently, in my opinion. It's just like too many knots.
There was a couple lines I think in the backup story too that I thought were a little bit like that, where I was reading it. It took me a second. I had to read it like twice because I was like, wait a minute, like it's a little much. Like, it's not. And does that make sense?
Everything is so drawn. Like, I think it's really good. Even the background detail is really nice on like a lot of the scenes. That like just the extra details really cool.
Brett is next level, man. And it just, I've loved Brett since 1992. Watched him mature over his career and just get better and better and better. And he's at the top of his game at dude. I think he's in his early 50s. He's at the top of his game doing his thing. And I think it's absolutely awesome. Obviously, we see that on the main title of Spawn. So this is interesting. We get okay. So he's like, perfect. We're riding to your house then. So he wants to take Taylor to his house. Taylor's like, we can't go there until my dad tells me I can go there, which is kind of interesting, which I think plays out a little bit later when we see it. But out of nowhere, then we get attacked by this black winged angel in this really awesome fight scene. Again, I see now you mention it, Gooch. I can't unsee it with the action.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be a thump
dialogue there?
or
boom?
It
Yeah,
should be.
The word is bad, but just the actual the text itself is not intriguing. Like it's not dynamic.
It should. If he would have gone from smaller to bigger font with this, it would have had more impact. And even if he angled it a little bit, it would have rolled with the action sequence, and you would have felt it a little more. It would have had more weight. But it's just like a word that's there. Like it's like Taco Bell. Like it's just like it just jets out from nowhere.
But I feel like this maybe was a complaint because all the new Gunslinger and all the new Spawn, that's same lettering, but it's see-through. You like see through it.
Yes,
that's fine. But it has
to been.
Oh, sorry. Even the lettering has to have some kind of impact when it's on the page. So
I completely agree with that. Now that I know you're talking about the sound effect, because Tom Orzechowski or whatever his name is, he's been doing Spawn since the very beginning, old school. And I like the lettering in the book overall. But yeah, if you're gonna do action script or action text like this, yeah, you can manifest it in so many different ways to go along with the action to lead your eye to make the impact something big. This is just kind of like impact font, just real big, boom in your face, and it does almost kind of take away from it. So I completely get what you're saying. Twisted Dream says, is the hat like a cape? Well, he's got a trench coat and he's still got like the Spawn I don't know what this is called, like the Dracula cape that goes over his head kind of thing. And the trench coat is, I guess, kind of like a cape, but unlike other Spawns, he doesn't have a massive.
You're talking about the collar?
Is the hat like the cape? Oh,
meaning Spawn's cape, like that is magical.
I see what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Sorry, I read that wrong. I don't know with this costume because he doesn't have like the typical like long flowing cape and everything. Like he's much more grounded. Yeah, I don't know about the symbiote or his costume being alive and everything like the other Spawns. I know he's the weakest Spawn of the Spawns.
Yeah, yeah, he is. But his arsenal though is what I can't even talk. Holds him up as an equal.
But he's a hand-to-hand combat tactician. He's like, I think he
I get what you're saying.
Higher when it comes to like combat and strategy and being deceitful. But he also has the ability to pull on animals like wolves and other wildlife that
I just find it funny that medieval Spawn had his ass kicked by Al, and Gunslinger is the only Spawn that can actually equal up to Al Simmons' fighting techniques, and he's from way back then. And I'm like, bro, Al is current, and he has to keep up with Gunslinger, which shows you how dangerous. Angels. Yeah, it shows you how
because with his weapons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they explain that in the backup stories. Like he dips all of his weapons in his own blood. Because his blood, it allows him to be able to kill angels. But when he does that, it also weakens him, because again, he's got real blood. Not like Al Simmons, who has the necro plasma, whatever it is, the necro whatever it's called. That's his blood. That's why why he bleeds green. Gunslinger actually bleeds real blood, and that blood allows him to be able to kill angels, which is pretty interesting.
The necroplasm.
Necroplasm. Yes, I think that's what. I think that's what. Yeah.
Catch on to that detail.
Yeah, they in this issue they talk about it.
Paul, are you and I the only ones that read this damn book?
There's I haven't read 6 pages that just have him dipping his blood.
I was just going to say there's an entire backup story that just explains it, which is why I just explained it, because they talk about it.
I feel like they need to repurpose that too. They need to tell you that sometimes and refresh the reader, especially in Spawn.
Yeah,
but it also shows the reason why he can stand with Al Simmons is Al Simmons can pick up an assault rifle and spray and pray. If Gunslinger misses, he has to put new blood shots on, which weakens him. So he has to be perfect. That's why he gets these headshots.
Yeah.
You know, my whole thing is
fuck me. Like he's so good.
I know, man. It's just
my
beautiful
whole
art.
thing with Gunslinger or just spawns in general.
See that right there.
Granted that they're from a whole different time period, but they all got fucked over equally in some way, shape, or form by hell, Malbolgia, whoever it is. It's so strange to me that still that not a single hell spawn will trust or even work with, have an easy time working with any other spawns. You know, they're always like figuring that, this one's gonna come out to kill me sometime, so I got to be prepared. They're all out for themselves.
I like this kind of explanation here. It says the Angel's quickness steals any chance of getting the kill shot Gunslinger is looking for. Instead of bullets hit him more. Instead, the bullets hit. Man, that's a small screen.
Hit
Instead,
more wing than warrior, which further enrages the angel bloodlust.
Whoa.
And then it goes on to defile wings given to them by God is an act of blasphemy, which is why they're black. Gunslinger knew this. He also, yeah, right, yeah. Gunslinger knew that. He also knew it was the only chance to get his enemy to face him squarely, and to do that, and because he does that, headshot. I just love that sequence. You know, a great planning, great strategy. He opens up his wings and gives him that shot he needs, and then bam.
Yeah, he's very quick at problem solving. Where like a lot of other spawns either hesitate or like they ponder too long. Where Gunslinger is really quick to act, and he does it and when he acts, it's the correct way of going about it. Like he's so good when it comes to combat.
Yeah. To answer the Twisted Dreams, I don't know if this costume is alive or not, to be honest with you. I just always assumed it was because he's a spawn, but because he is so different.
He always asks for the hat. So
like
even when he arose, he was looking for the hat. That was
okay, so there must be something.
So
yeah, something special there. Which is kind of funny in this scene. So he kills this angel. The angel falls down. Taylor grabs his hat and starts to go away. And the Gunslinger freaks out and says, Taylor, get your ass back here, because he's got his hat. And it's like, Taylor's just like, yes, sir. I just bring your hat back. That's all, But there's an importance there to that hat.
I got a question for you. Like, if this guy, if Gunslinger came out, like, say in the 90s, how big do you think he would have been back then?
Oh, I think it would have been huge.
I think he would probably be bigger than Spawn, in my opinion. I think he would have been that popular.
It depends on the artist, but if let's just say Brett Booth back then, or somebody of that kind of quality in the 90s, because Capullo and McFarlane, they were killing him. I mean, Spawn was the #1 book in the indie scene, Image Comics, indie comics.
Overall, it was, dude.
Well, yeah, even overall for a while, for a while. So, but I do think that the Gunslinger character would have rivaled him with this story, because he's got a great look. Everybody deep down likes the kind of Western gunslinger feel. Like it's kind of ingrained in us from birth, right? We go around pew pew pew, shooting, cowboys and Indians and all that kind of stuff. The cowboy aesthetic of it, I think it would have been huge. I absolutely do.
Well, to answer, like, he has stakes. Like, there's consequences for if he makes a mistake. Like, he actually can die. So, and he's not the most powerful. So that people are going to gravitate to that because he's an underdog, and people love underdogs. So they're going to naturally. That's why people love Batman. He doesn't have any superpowers. He's just highly intelligent, and he has all the money in the world. But
yeah. No, yeah, I think it would have been really good. Just because he's so different than Al Simmons Spawn. It definitely gives a different.
I give Todd a lot of credit, because back then, and I forgot that's what I used to call him too. He used to be called Gunslinger Spawn. He was always Gunslinger Spawn, Spawn. He's like eventually I want him to be known as Gunslinger. He's like Wolverine, Gunslinger. And I was like, no one's gonna call him that. And I totally forgot he was always Gunslinger Spawn. Now we just call him Gunslinger. So it worked.
Yeah, I'm trying to get used to just saying Gunslinger, because I'm like, I feel like sometimes you're not gonna know who I'm talking about, but you guys will. But for new people coming in, but yeah, Gunslinger is his name. Gunslinger
no one has
is
that
his
name, so it's not like it's like, oh, it's Gunslinger. You know, it's like, no, that's his name. I like.
We got a member of the channel, Christopher Bouchard's in the house. Great to see you, members. You get this.
What are you doing up? Oh my God! I'm sorry. I can't stop coming. I'm sorry. Oh, it feels so good.
Great to see you in here. Thank you for being part of the show. So right off the bat, Gunslinger decides to teach or take it upon himself to show Taylor how to properly use the weapons to kill an angel. And he's just kind of going back and forth here and ends with the headshot. So he's got the already deceased body of the angel tied up there and just using him as target practice. It's just kind of an interesting. Oh, he uses his knife too. I forgot about that. Just
He's saying, hey, you can't shoot it in the chest. You got to shoot in the head if you want to kill it.
Yeah.
If you shoot it in the chest, it's going to come back. Shoot it in the head. And he's like, the reason why my stuff works is because I have a secret, but that's for another time. And we get it later.
right. Yep. Eric Guapo says Batman has no powers except unlimited resources, intelligence, and is the peak of human fitness, but has non-powers. Yeah, he's just like I just love the corpse of this angel afterwards. It's just completely
Brett
fucked
Booth,
up.
God damn, he's so good. Like,
Brett motherfucking Booth.
Yeah,
Respect on the name. Let's go.
Sorry, my apologies, Brett motherfucking Booth. Like, they're like he's just like the elite, eh? Like he's just so fucking good.
And he may or may not have something to do with Reaper Destroyer issue 2. So
get the fuck out of here! Dude,
throw that out there.
That's cum worthy.
Yes.
That is cum worthy.
So we also find out in the scene something interesting that I don't know if they carry this on to the rest of the Spawn books, because I haven't seen this in the current Spawn stuff. But when an angel dies on Earth, they apparently dissolve and disappear so that the humans can't find them. Have you guys seen that actually carried on in the rest of the books as the way angels die? Because I haven't. And maybe I've just missed it. Okay. I just missed it then.
And I'm just assuming that makes sense. It's like, hey, they disappear.
It makes perfect sense. I just hadn't seen it. Like the war, right? Well, maybe it's because they don't have their powers. So maybe that's different in the current storyline.
Yeah. Joe, that's how angel dust is made.
Oh, shit.
So I want to point out when Blood was hunting down everybody, like, and he was going after everyone. There was panels where there was humans, angels disguised as humans, demons, whatever. They were being led into like kill banks where the vampires would just slaughter them. The angels would just evaporate. That was something that was mentioned.
Okay. I just wanted to ask that because I wasn't sure. I love this line here where after all of that stuff, he's just like, now let's get some gas, as you call it, and get you home.
Yeah. Great. This is and this is where it gets
this is cool. Because they tease it in the beginning. He's like, like you see it as a typical like one of these kids that get everything handed to them, like, oh, my dad, I'm not gonna go home because my dad didn't pick me up yet. And you think like, oh, this is a spoiled kid, and then we go home to see what he was actually doing.
So here's it's funny because so Taylor opens up the door and he's basically like, Dad, sorry, to not call, but as he's coming in and opens up the door, and now you just see his dad surrounded by all of these, weaponized angels. You got a dark angel there with black wings. This gold angel looks really familiar. I don't know what the character is, but he definitely looks really familiar. And his dad is pissed that he showed up when he wasn't supposed to.
I don't think he's pissed. I think he's more devastated.
I could be
about to take his son and kill him.
Well, and the thing is, like, so I was just going to jump into that. So they're going to take his son out and like burn him, right? They're going to burn him. They're going to kill him. And his dad is just kind of, I guess, okay, you're right. He just lets it happen. So I've read this too fast. You're right. At first, I was just taking it as him being pissed, like, and just letting it happen. But he is showing some remorse there.
Like, there's nothing I could do to these people. They own me. Like, you're done. Like, that's it. Or if he speaks, he's instantly knows he's dead with him. We're just killing you right here.
Yep. So he's yelling. He's like, Dad, help. He's like, I'm sorry, Taylor. This is your fault. And see, that's why I was like the dialogue is like, this is your fault. You've got no one else to blame but yourself. And that's why I was just kind of like, there was borderline like, yeah, remorseful, but at the same point, he's just like, this is your fault, son. Sorry. Now you got to die. I was like, man, what a piece of shit.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's lethal angels that this guy couldn't even throw fists with.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then, so of course, they're taking him outside, and then we get the cliffhanger of issue 1, besides the backup stories that we'll talk about here in a second. But the cliffhanger of issue 1 of Gunslinger coming to the aid of Taylor and about to engage in a battle with these dark angels. So I thought for the main book, there was a hell of an issue number 1. There's great setup, good character introduction, and then a great cliffhanger leading you into issue 2. And I dug it. I dug everything about it. Obviously, I've got all the books because I just love Brett Booth, but actually sitting back and reading it, I really liked it.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. And
good, man.
I literally was like, "Oh, it's done," and then I forgot. That's why, like, when I picked them up in my room yesterday, I was like, "Wow, these feel a little heavy." And I forgot there's all these other stories for like even for first issue. It's like, hey, they're giving you all this back lore to it. The character, it's like very well needed to, be like, okay, now I want more for sure. And it's good to have backup stories. I like when there's a good backup story that's actually useful, not like it's Justice League and then you get, Captain Marvel going to the bookstore.
Yeah. Well, in these backup stories, you're going to see, like, I liked them because they showed different aspects of Gunslinger's character.
Yeah.
And then they explained a little bit about his weapons and stuff. Twisted Dream says, I know Spawn from the animated series as a kid. That's how I see him. So other versions are hard for me to see. I got you. Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that is interesting. But there are so many different versions. Like, so there's the main Spawn, there's Al Simmons, but now, especially with the Spawn universe that happened 3 years ago with issue 300, you got Gunslinger, you got She-Spawn, you got medieval spawns out there. Am I missing any? I feel like there's more.
The Scorched, you got that poison one with the spikes, the gray thing with the spikes, the Omega, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Did you say She-Spawn?
She-Spawn, yep, She-Spawn. There's it's just a ton of spawns right now, and it's interesting. I like the fact because Spawn was always set up to be multiple hosts, through time, but now a lot of them, or most of them, are all pulled into this time, so you get to see how they interact with this world. And
that Rat City bullshit.
There is that Rat City.
That doesn't exist.
It doesn't.
And in Rat City, there's a whole multiverse of spawns.
No, it doesn't.
They're
on issue 10, bro. They're on issue 10 strong right now, dude.
That does not exist.
No, it's not. Get out of here. Everyone that I've talked to hate that. They don't even know.
Yeah, there's nobody I know that really likes.
That's a coaster. City. That book.
And again, it had so much potential with the idea of it.
Good. I feel like people are getting it. That there's still. I still see them in my shop.
I think the collectors are still buying it
because no one's buying it.
I still see it in my shop.
You know what I mean.
I still see it there, but like I'm just like, nah, I can't.
The new issues are coming in. I don't know, what are they bagging and boarding every issue? Dude, that's crazy.
It's a great wallpaper.
So this backup story. This backup story is called The Lynching. And basically, to break it down, because it's a real short story, but there are so this is what I want to say was interesting. Where does it say? Man, where did they list it?
Story of Jeremy Winston.
It's the Bartlett gang has kidnapped these kids. And what's interesting about that, where does he say that? It was here a second ago. But that's Taylor's last name. You guys catch that?
The Bartlett, yeah.
Yeah, Bartlett. Yeah, Taylor's last name is Bartlett in the main story. And so now you're going back to the 1800s. The Bartlett gang kidnapped these kids, and there's, gunslingers essentially going out there to find them, and runs across them. Unfortunately, they've been hanged. They've been already killed. And this kind of just shows a little bit of the ruthlessness to a point. Like, I really love how this ends. So he buries the kids out of respect, so he's showing respect there. He's a man of honor when it comes to that kind of stuff. And he tracks down the father of the gang that killed these kids, and he brings them 10-hour trip. Basically, he takes out all his men. He comes in here, and he's basically says, I want to show you something. And he goes on this 10-hour trip with this dude where he doesn't say a single word, as this guy is constantly just like, where are you taking me? You son, you bastard, all this kind of stuff. Doesn't say a single word for a 10-hour journey until they get to this tree. Now you're thinking, right, that this is the bodies of the kids that he buried. And in fact, he makes the father of these gangs. The surprise is that he already killed his sons and he lynched them up, and he's making the father look at the dead bodies of the gangs of the people that just killed that kid. And he doesn't kill the dad. He walks away and lets him just gaze at his dead bodies of his sons. I thought that was a really cool story. Like, I was really captivated by this short story. What do you guys think?
Well, it's a few things. He's gonna obviously regret any of his actions beforehand. Then he's gonna have this image in his head that's gonna be forever, where he could either try to live his life with that image in his head and regret all the actions he did, or he's gonna kill himself, which is the ultimate sin, right? So incredible storyline.
Rip. Show him the rip. Show him the rip on the bottom.
Now is the Bartlett if I remember correctly, the Bartlett are the same individuals that's also in Deadly Tales of Gunslinger. Am I wrong?
I have not read it yet. I have
to.
Paul, have you read that?
I got to go back. I
did read it, but I have to reread it again because the artwork confused me and it just had me a little confused. You should definitely read it. I got the same cover.
I want to read it, but that's the only reason I haven't really got into it yet, because the art it hasn't really pulled me in yet.
But that's going to be the artist for the book. So it's
this artist
I'm definitely going to pick up whoever's doing the stuff now. It is similar to this, but
I was saying it's similar. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was the same artist. Like, I didn't mind this stuff. I thought this was pretty good.
But I thought it was
this looks good.
So awesome.
I thought it was really good, and it was a great short story. It shows you how quick you could do a good backup story that actually works, and then the next one's really important too. If you know the name of it, Zach should read it out loud for everyone. The name of the next short story.
Before we jump into that real quick, I did think it was interesting that this is the only time I've seen where they've shown teeth with his mask. I thought that was just kind of, I don't know if that was just an artist taking liberties, with the stylistic aspect of how he was drawing it to show like some emotion, but you don't see that, just the teeth with his mask. And I thought that was just kind of interesting. Not sure if I like it or not, but with this story, I just have nothing but good things to say about that backup story. So for me, 10 out of 10 with that backup story. Zach, read the title.
Weapons.
Okay, so here's what we were talking about. Basically, this entire short story right here breaks down his ability to why his weapons kill the angels. In short story, or long story short, he takes all of his weapons, whether they're bullets, whether it's knives, anything, and he takes it and he cuts himself and dips it in his own blood, and that it is his blood that allows the death of the angels to occur. But every time he does it, it weakens him. So him already being the weakest spawn of all the spawns that exist, the only way that he can compete with the forces like angels and demons and all that and actually stand up to them is to further weaken them.
Weakens him for that moment. Like he does regenerate. Like it's not like he's like weakened all like fully. Like he
leaves him vulnerable for that moment.
Yeah, he needs the rest. Like he has to like like any human.
And it's cool because it's self-sacrifice is not the right word. That's not what I'm trying to go with here. But he has to take a piece of himself and do something that puts him in a vulnerable position to then be able to compete with the powers that he's going up against on a regular basis. And like Paul
it's very biblical. It's very religious. Like like this is my blood, and then...
and it's what is about his blood that makes it. I haven't gone forward, so I'm still kind of discovering some of this for the first time, reading it. So I haven't gone forward in the story to see
he's from hell.
If they've explained it more.
Yeah, he's from hell. So,
but is there anything special about his? Like you just said, like like a religious aspect? Is there something special about his blood besides the fact that he's just, because he takes a different body all the time, right? So what is it about this character and his real blood that allows him to be able to kill angels and demons? Have they discovered that, or is that just?
I don't think he takes a different body. He just comes back, like he just comes back like in a different, like a kind of different form.
I think there's something special about him as a person. It's why he got selected to be the gunslinger at the time. And I think,
well, didn't Javier have the life before though? Like, didn't he have like a life before that Spawn jumped into his body?
So to my,
Javier Ramirez, is that
the guy from the new Spawn? Well, this guy, the one that's in the current, main line. The Spanish dude, he's like a Spanish dude.
Yeah, that I'm not sure. Like I haven't read enough. Like I love the character, I love the design and everything, but I haven't read enough to.
So is it my understanding that there's 2 gunslingers in time? So like,
what was the original gunslinger that appeared in like issue,
170 or
one something, yeah,
like that. Yeah,
is that the same gunslinger that we're seeing now?
Yes, it's the same gunslinger, but different human body.
Okay.
Like, I think he was Winston before, and now he's Javier.
Okay, so he does jump from body to body.
Yeah, like he I guess that's the host part.
Okay.
No, he's not jumping from body to body. He's reborn. He's
within them.
No, not in different bodies. He comes back. He's just like a different form. Like he's just.
So he just uses the body as a shell then, in order to come back.
Okay, I'm just reading this after making cameos against the president, where he was taken into the future. He was taken into the future as Javi, possessing a human. Okay, so he does. Okay, he does. My apologies. He does host a different human. All right.
Okay, so now that we got that, we got that figured out. Like I like that.
Yeah. Okay. No, my bad. Because
because I was wondering too, because I didn't realize that was the case, and I didn't even know if it was the same Spawn gunslinger from the original appearance. So that fills in a lot of holes for me as well. So good job,
so
guys.
To me, it seems that he is by definition the unknown soldier. Because every time he dies, he just comes as a different individual, and it's not about that. It's more so the spirit of the gunslinger is what takes hold of that new shell that recently died.
I would say he's more like the devil from the movie Fallen, and I forget that devil's name in that one, where he does like if he's in like a body, he can go, like someone touches another person, he can jump from body to body, he can never die. Like that Denzel Washington Washington film.
Okay. No, it's a great concept. And I really like it. I'm glad it was explained a little bit more, because I didn't actually realize that until this discussion. So that's why I love these shows. And again, like the Spawn review for me, guys, if you're first time you're watching this, whether it's live or after it's been recorded, a lot of this is I always loved the character. I followed the character. Mostly I followed it for the art. And so I started this show because I really got into Spawn right around issue 350 again. It pulled me back in, especially with Brett taking over the art duties. And I wanted to go on a discovery and learn things I hadn't learned before. So a lot of this show is me reading stuff for the first time. And then I love discussing with you guys who have been reading a lot longer than I have, and just filling in a lot of the blanks. So that's the premise of this show. Is not necessarily we're all experts. For me, I am really looking more into discovering things that I missed, because I dipped out of Spawn from issue 100 and really didn't pay attention to it for years until now. It's kind of like Ghost Rider. And you can see. I would say you can see where Todd drew a lot of his inspiration from this character from other characters, and that's what makes a great character, right? You take inspirations, bits and pieces from all these other characters, you find a way to meld that into a brand new story, a brand new unique story, where you can kind of get the familiarity. You'd be like, oh, this reminds me of this reminds me of that, but it's also in itself, brand new. So that was just explaining that. So then the last story is called A Small Gift. And this kind of just shows, again, we're back in the 1800s. This is right after the Mexican-American War in 1848. America took over this part of Mexico, and they're trying to establish if they can actually live down there and have a life, or if it's going to be just another ghost town amongst all the other ghost towns out west. And we see this just, basically the stereotypical racist, whatever you want to call drunk of town, using his power against somebody that is much smaller and less abilities of him. And basically, he gets this kid who is a half-breed. He calls him a half-breed. And he's trying to send him on this impossible task. So he's carving this symbol into the table, which will come into play at the end of the story here. And the kid basically says, you shouldn't do that. That's not your table. I'm assuming from the story that this is this kid's dad's or grandfather's bar. I would assume. And this dude basically says, like, hey, tell you what, you go get me another drink. You fill it up to the very top. And I want you to run back here without spilling a drop. And if you do, I'm going to cut off your hands. And he's just, so it's a guy being a bully. All intents and purposes, it seems like he would definitely follow through with his act. And out of nowhere, you just get a warning shot. I just love how Gunslinger comes in. Like, this is a boss, this is like that Western, right? Like, this is a perfect Western scene where the hero is there all along. He's watching what's going on. And he makes his presence known. And just look at that.
Trump's assassination. Look at that.
Oh, geez. Great point.
How did he rip off his ear? And the guy is just like chilling after.
Look at that.
Yeah, he's pretty cool afterwards, but yeah.
Thunk. Like,
yeah, since you pointed out, man, it stands out like a sore thumb. I 100%.
More of a slice, or you could do a swoosh.
Yeah.
No, the thunk would have been where the knife landed on the wall.
Exactly. That should have been. Should have been down there.
Okay.
Should have been a slice and a thunk or a thud or a stunk.
Maybe like a.
Like this double page splash is the best part of it.
I love this.
Yeah.
What a great introduction, for a short story. You're bringing in the hero or whatever you want to call it. The page turn is a double page spread after the knife throw, slicing the ear, sticking in the wall, and he's just chilling, smoking a cigarette, drinking some whiskey. He's got his gun out, leg up on a chair. Like, that is some super, like, that's badass. Like, I was really thrilled with all these backup stories. I thought they did a great job.
Yeah. It's Gunslinger, man.
It is.
Blackass is in the house. Hail, brother.
Look, fucking Jay. Yeah. It's Gunslinger. What the fuck?
It's Gunslinger, man.
He's a badass. He's a badass motherfucker.
That's why I love the show. I don't feel like a normie watching your content, even though I am one. Nah, man, if you're probably right there where I am. You're filling in holes. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. Wait, I can do that better. You see, you're filling in holes. Thank you.
There. Ooh, that had some bass to it too. That's nice.
There it is. So this guy is basically part of the Bartlett, I'm assuming, gang, because he talks about his boss. I'm assuming this all is kind of together with the whole Bartlett gang. And mouths off, and I love this sequence. He's like, shoot first.
Slam.
He's like, how about we settle this before any lawman gets here? Gunslinger's like, you see him hell-bent, take the first shot. Was planning to, and you see him shoot his shot, and the next scene you see, it was already too late. He's like, changed my mind.
Womp.
Shot him right before he could. Womp. Yep. And just this brutal aspect, like, this is just.
And I like the minimal background with the art style. It does work well.
True.
Just the colors and things like that. It really does pop.
He says, your boss, where's he keeping himself? You go to hell. In the hills, that's where he's at. He's basically not talking. He's like, I asked the question. And he says yes at the very end. And even though he gets his answer, he crushes his throat and gives him one more shot to the head. The blood splattering on the kid's face. Really awesome sequence there. Just showing the impact.
And that's a good blam.
Yeah, right. Showing the shock of the kid, seeing what he's seeing.
Little blood.
Bump.
And I love that. He gives the knife to the kid so that the kid, and I'm assuming that the knife's probably got a little bit of a special aspect to it. It's a knife that he's got dipped in blood. But he basically says, here, take this. Don't use it unless it's only necessary.
See, the thing that I love the most about Gunslinger is that he has the most humility and he is very respectful amongst the innocents. Where Al Simmons, to me, I
Can be a dick sometimes.
I love Spawn sometimes. Motherfucker, that man's a dick all the time. Like, come on, like, bro. He'd be shitting on the innocent as well, bro. Like, what is it? There's a scene where I remember there was a scene I was reading recently where there's a woman about to get raped by a couple gang members in the alleyway. Spawn kills them, and she's like, "Oh, thank him." He's like, "Oh, it serves you right. You shouldn't have been here to begin with." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, with if it was Gunslinger in return, he would have.
He gives no fucks.
Yeah,
does
not give a shit.
Yep. He's on one mission now, is to get his wife back. It's interesting with his character, but yeah, Gunslinger is completely different. He shows a concern for this kid's well-being, as his father is a coward, or grandfather, whoever it is, seems to be a coward and not doing anything. And he's like, take care of yourself from now on. Here's a knife. Use it only when you need to. And when he leaves, he sees this symbol, which I'm sure is going to pay into, later, that the guy was carving. And he says he recognizes it right off the bat, and then he takes off. And that's the story ends with, when they do, he'll be waiting. Just setting up this whole, showdown between him and, I'm assuming, the Bartlett gang.
So this is an art preference. If you go down to the bottom part of the page, these 3 panels, right? So you have the one on the left, complete silhouette outside of the colors, and you see he's walking out. And you have which is phenomenal, and then you have the one all the way to the right, where they outline his whole body and a red silhouette line on the contour. Personally, because you already did it in the far left, I would have been okay with the leg and the cape sticking out, flowing, and just have the eyes go green in the black and erase the red contour line. And I think that would have been amazing.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. The outline didn't really need to be there.
I could see, like, the artist felt like the need to, and I can understand that. I think it would have been a lot better if that wasn't there. And the eyes crugly, can't even talk. You know what I mean?
Glowed green. Yes. Now you're sounding like me. I'm rubbing off on everybody on this show.
No. It's the Guccianese. It's the Guccianese. It's rubbing off on everyone.
Got Corey Barton in the house. Member of the channel, and for not new members, but members, I'm doing this.
What are you doing up? Oh my God! I'm sorry. I can't stop coming. I'm sorry. Oh, it feels so good.
Shout out to my members. Love you guys. Love you all. Corey's dropping those spawn emojis in the chat as well.
Yeah, Corey. Yeah, Joe's just over here beside me over here. So.
Yeah. Oh goddamn!
No, I switched my background to blue when we were doing the Alien, the Jake Barber talk, and I kind of liked it. I've been doing the pink or the red and the blue that comes up more pink on the screen. I'm like, I'm gonna change it up. It's a new year. We're doing things different around here now. So that was Gunslinger #1, the main story and 3 backup stories. I thought was really awesome. I got the time scale there of 613, which I guess I never really noticed before.
It's his finisher.
Yeah. You never read it.
Right, yeah, because I never read it. That's right. I never read it before. This is the first time reading it. It's 613 finisher. That's right. Shout out Rey Mysterio.
Yep.
Oh my God, I just love Brett Booth's work. God dang it, man.
It's beautiful. If you guys haven't seen it, the Gunslinger run was fantastic by Brett Booth, art-wise, hands down. And I'm kind of more excited now to go through and read more of the books now that I'm actually getting into the actual story. But definitely go out and check it out. If you go out and get this book, let us know that you read this book, or if you checked out for the first time, tag us on social media. Let us know that you got it because you saw the show and you got into it. We want to know. We want to hear from you guys. And as Paul says, tag Todd McFarlane. Let him know that we were talking about his character and that you want to see him on the show. That's what you got to do. Do it. Bombard him. Let's go. What did you guys think of this book? I'm just going to say right out of the bat, I thought it was a great opener, 10 out of 10, because that's what I like to do here. Jay, the Gooch.
I fell in love with this character right off the hop. This is great intro. We got the snippets of him and the Spawn. What was that book? Holy crap! Where they had all the spawns and with Elson
Universe.
There. Spawn Universe. He was the first one. I was just like, I like this character. He's kind of old school. He's kind of like that Charles Bronson, Clint Eastwood kind of type character, which I'm right away going to love. So yeah, for me, this book is a 10 out of 10. Like I don't know how you cannot like the artwork is no 9.5 because of those freaking lettering. That
good point.
Yeah, he's got to change that.
I'll have to. Yeah,
and he hasn't. In 39, he still hasn't changed it. It's horrible. Like look at that room, and it's just like
no, he did change it. It's see through now.
But you gotta fool around with the font and make it flow with the action. And
I personally am not a big fan of it anymore. I there was a couple spots in my new book where I removed it if I don't feel like it's needed, and I feel like he's been learning, like doing different stuff too. Like I think it was Healy, right? That's the editor. He was saying that that like, he told me the other day to remove it because like it just didn't even need it anymore, it's just like swinging through the punches.
I like sound effects. I think when done right, it can work really well. Jay pointed out, and I can't stop seeing it now in this book. It's just, it stands out. Like good sound effects shouldn't stand out. It should just be seamlessly, part of everything. By the way, altogether we have 170 people watching. We got 149 over on X21 on here on YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Wherever you're watching, please hit the like button, come over to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share it with all your friends and family. Let them know that this is the place to be for comic book talk, specifically on this show, Spawn. But we also look at great comic book art on Appreciating Comic Book Art Live. And I have a new show called The Ronan Joe Show, where we just shoot the shit with the fans, the chat, and we talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. It's a fun show. Come by. That's on Thursdays at 8 p.m. right now, so check that out. But shout out to the chat. You guys have been great all night long. We appreciate you guys very, very much. We have Sir Ooch. Am I saying that right?
Sir Oocht.
Sir Oocht. Ooch. Hopefully I pronounced that right. It says, howdy, everybody.
It's
Utch. Sir Utch. Great to see you.
How dare you.
Enjoying the lovely evening. Yeah, I was born wearing shorts and a cape. Nice. I was born naked, but that sounds a lot cooler. I like that.
And I would say 9 out of 10.
All right. Yeah, I'm still gonna stick with my 10 out of 10, but great points on the lettering.
Because 10 out of 10 was like 360. I thought 360 was 10 out of 10. The other book we read 10 out of 10. The stories are really good. I was more fond of the hanging and the weapons. The third one was cool too. But I would have liked it. I don't know. 9 out of 10. Still, it's phenomenal. I have nothing negative to
still
say.
Great. Yeah, still great. Yeah. That's a hell of a score.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 is like fantastic. It's definitely a great number one, great first issue, great for new readers. So I recommend getting it.
I throw 10 out of 10s out like Oprah. I'm like, you get a 10 out of 10. You get a 10.
and the Image ones are always $9.99 for the first books. So if you get the volume one, like Joe says, tag us and say you got it because of us, and let Todd McFarlane know.
Zach, give us your rating on the book, and then I want to see your progress on the gunslinger drawing that you've been doing.
So, I give this book an 8 out of 10 because more so.
Boo this man!
It's really it has nothing to do with the artwork. The artwork is fucking superb. It's really just the story for me, and it's not that the fact that the story is bad. When I was picking up this series, I thought maybe I was gonna get a lot of more of Western stories, and hey, he's gonna be over here. But it is what it is. Like I'm not knocking it, downgrading. It's just for me. I remember my expectation. Picking it up at the time, I was like, oh, so this majority of this issues him dealing with Earth current stuff and figuring out that he's in a lost world and whatnot. So I mean that's pretty much the only reason why my rating is that. I mean Brett's work is fantastic. This is as far as I got, and I got the pencils done. All right, let me pull you up here. I took more time figuring it out.
No, it's looking good, dude.
Yeah, it looks good.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
That's gonna look awesome.
Face looks really nice. Face looks really nice. Hands too look great.
pretty much. I know this is pencils, but I wanted to figure it out. To make it at least a little bit interesting. But also too, spawns in general are fucking tough to draw. And yeah, that's it for the drawing. If you want, you can show the other that I finished. And
I'm gonna show you this.
Can I just say, Zach has leveled up so much so fast. Like, he's just incredible with the artwork.
Thank you.
And I like to take a lot of credit of that because I've been pushing him.
You should.
No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Zach is amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna thank Gooch. Thanks, Gooch, for Zach drawing better.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome.
Well, what is it? Last year, at total, I did about 123 drawings.
Yeah,
that are directly involved with his show. So, yeah, I mean, there's definitely some credit to give to him.
Yeah. What happens when you draw that much, man? You see the improvements right there.
Kidding. I was totally kidding.
Zach, you wanted it.
Everyone's thanking me for this. No, Zach, you're like you have man, your artwork is amazing. You really leveled up, dude. Like, bravo to you, dude.
Thank you.
No, you have.
Thank you, guys.
Speaking of leveling up, if
you're
you
welcome,
guys.
You're welcome.
Yeah. If you guys were here last week, he drew Nyx. I'm pretty sure I can show this because this is art, so I don't think it counts as nudity. But if not, here it goes. This was his Nyx drawing from last week.
He's wearing a shirt, dude.
Yeah, it's a shirt.
Instagram didn't flag me for it, so.
Yeah, YouTube is weird.
Yeah,
YouTube is weird.
You're allowed to show artwork with nudity.
That's why I'm cool. So we're doing it. We're doing it.
And then did you? Was the other one showing before too?
I think we did show the other one with the face.
Showed.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'll just bring it up here real quick. But this was the hamburger face spawn that he drew a few weeks ago as well. Absolutely great. Fantastic. If you want any of these pieces, please hit up Zach and let him know. I'm sure you can you'll be able to get them.
That was Zach
somebody's gonna buy them from me. It's only a matter of time.
Before we get out of here, we do have creators on the show as always, and I do want to highlight their books. We have Paul with his project Naosis on Fund My Comic. Links are down below.
So the Fund My Comic, this is an extension. This is a second chance for our Project Naosis episode 5. I labeled it 0 through 5 because you can get all the catch-up tiers. But episode 5, the lettering just got finished today. I am hitting the print fucking button either tonight or tomorrow morning. There's how many more times I want to reread this tonight. It looks fantastic. It's finally our main super villain, Crimson Pain, is taking on the Project Naosis unit. There is no multiverse or do-overs. Go over there, get a digital. You're guaranteed your books. They all ship out in March. Or if you get a digital, you're getting it this week.
Hells yes.
Let's do it.
Everybody check it out. Links are down below. Fantastic book. I always pronounce it wrong, so I do apologize for that.
And you can thank me for helping out Paul as well if you want to do that.
Everybody do it. Let's just
tell one of your 1,000 guys who give you $1,000 to just throw a couple $100 into that Fund My Comic, and we're good.
Just get just get everybody that the Gooch has subscribed to the $1 at the project.
I'm on his channel. I'm just seeing hundreds of dollars flying in, hundreds of dollars at once.
Hey, well, I can't help
loves
it. They love the Gooch. Yeah, I can't help it.
Yeah, Gooch is running wild.
Yeah. Phenomenal. Gucci-mania.
Gucci-mania. I like it.
No, seriously, the book is amazing. It's like, very fast paced, but really well done. Like, dude, killer job.
Yeah, fantastic job on these. Sorry, I got so many windows.
And you got a new backer. Is it refreshed?
Yeah, I was gonna say I wanted to refresh this live because we did get a new backer. So let me refresh this.
And
here, what are we looking at here?
For that, I take credit.
You should. You should.
If you just take credit,
we're just all taking credit for stuff now.
That one's mine. That one's mine.
Up to 1,265 backers. Thank you so much for the new backers tonight. Appreciate you guys. This is my book, Reaper Destroyer. If you love everything you see in this show or on this channel, you're going to love this book. If you love Spawn, you love the Darkness, the Guyver, Ghost Rider, all that kind of stuff, you're going to love this book, but it is uniquely different than any of those stories. I set it up that way to be completely different so that it's not another Spawn ripoff. and you guys are going to love it when you actually read the book. Those that have ordered this, the books are going out now. So if you just backed it, your wait will be a lot shorter than it was. And the reviews are coming in and people are loving it. The basic premise of this book is a man is trapped inside a supernatural suit of armor inhabited by the ancient spirit of death who is trying to possess his soul. I say this all the time. The story is much, much grander and bigger than that. After we read the first issue, we're going to talk a lot more about it. But there are things within the first issue that I wanted to kind of keep as a surprise for what we are setting up to do. So when you do it, let me know what's going on. We are going to dive more into the story after issue 1 is out. I'm trying to work on issue 2. Fulfillment is an absolute bitch. I will say that right now. It is hard as hell, especially with this giant campaign. We're going as far as I can. I'm basically taking all my time, packaging up books, and then streaming and trying to get everything out. I've got the first couple pages laid out, but I haven't had a chance to really dive into it. But I can't wait to it because issue 2 is going to be an absolute banger. So check this out. Samples of pages, script are on here. I've got a supplemental book as well, written by one of my co-hosts on Appreciating Comic Book Art Live, Kayla, who wrote a very sexy, mind-bendy story. Just some fantastic talent on this book, including Fabio Simeo, Oliver Isabedra, classic legendary inkers, Joe Weems, Matt Bat Banning, a cover by Rob Weibel, Dale Keown, and Shelby Robertson as well. Check it out. Appreciate you guys. I think you're going to love it. It's amazing. That's all I have to say about it. Let's go.
They can all thank me for that too.
Thank the Gooch for that too. Yeah, I mean,
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
he's taking credit for everything. I like that. That's what you got to do. You don't.
No.
You got to do these things. You know, like that's you got
seriously
swing balls.
Seriously, like you guys, like you both have written incredible stories. Like in Joe, like you know how much I appreciate your story, man. Like it's
yes, sir.
It's phenomenal. I didn't know what I was getting when I read it, but like I was like blown away. Really, really well done.
Thank you, man. I was very, very humbled by the feedback that you gave.
You're welcome, whack ass. You're welcome.
Says thank you, Gooch.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to get out of here. Jay, what have you got coming up? I know probably a shit ton.
Yeah, well, you can always catch me on Badgercast. You can catch me on Nerd Wars. You can catch me on my channel, Diabolical Souls Presents, where Tuesday to Thursday we do the animation block. Tomorrow night we're going to be doing Primal episode 6. Great episode. I know Zach's excited to do that one. Wednesday we're doing the original Star Wars episode 4. We're going to be reviewing that one. That's going to be a humdinger. And then Thursday, we're going to be reviewing Kaiju number 8, episode 4.
That was the book, Kaiju number 8. That was the book I got, the manga.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And,
nice.
That one's popping off too. And then, of course, Friday, you got Turning Guccianese with me talking to the chat and reviewing some of the news throughout the week. And then, of course, Late Night with Gooch and Gang on Sunday nights, which is just getting bigger and bigger, which is great. So it's a lot of fun. So swing on by.
Paul, I know you got a channel going on. What are you doing? You doing anything with that yet? I know you're doing some content, aren't you?
Yeah, it's Project Naosis on YouTube. We're doing reviews. I'm leveling it up. I'm editing videos now. I got like the images to the side.
There you go.
I got things going. I'm pushing the pace.
Yes,
they're doing pretty well. Like they're doing a couple hundred views right now, so we're getting there. And then I post a lot of YouTube shorts on like comic news and Project Naosis stuff where we're doing pretty well. So yeah, Project Naosis, same as everything. That's why I refer to myself as my book, because I am my brand, and my brand is.
I love that.
I hear you.
I love that. Zach, you got anything going on, brother, you want to put out there to the ether?
So very quickly, I'm working on a cartoon comic called Packful, Pulp Action Captain Fuzzy Lumpkin. Pretty much in the middle of doing roughs, going off of the plot breakdowns that we have been doing. Been preparing for a few months for that. I'm excited to show everyone once the art starts coming on. I just got a super awesome artist to do a variant cover just recently on, and so super happy that got locked that in. As well as working on a couple more books, but that's later on down the road. This year is pretty much narrative stuff for me, so I'm about to slow down on the art that I'm doing for YouTube shows and start going into the narratives really quickly. So
nice.
Nothing against any of you guys. I just I miss drawing comics, dude. I really miss it.
Break your
Thanks, Gooch. Thanks, Gooch, for this.
Son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
I really miss drawing comics.
We got K Ojo in the house. Says greetings from Raleigh, North Carolina. Hell yeah. Thank you for being here. I did say, see this. Oh, not that one. This one says, how many spawns do you have in your action figure collection? I have 7, but that's counting the 3 that I just backed from the Kickstarter that I have not received yet. So I'm trying to get. Oh, no. I do have this badass statue. I guess you're going to call this. I don't know if it's necessarily a figure or not, but you know, the Gooch and I got this when this dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was badass. So I've got a few.
I do have one to reveal tonight.
What do you got? What do you got? Did you get the Kickstarter already?
No. I haven't done that yet. But
Okay.
I have this.
Oh, second level up here.
Beautiful.
Ooh, all of the manga.
Spawn. That's sick.
Oh,
nice.
hell yes, dude. That's old.
Yep.
Oh, and I'll tell you right now, some of those are worth a lot now. Like they've been jumping a lot in price.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I do have the. Let's see if I can reach it with my headphones. No. Get back up. All right, I'm back.
It's awesome. I love it.
I do have this. One of the original. I don't know if it's the original, but from Rick Saylor sent me this as a gift. The Gunslinger, since we are talking about Gunslinger, have not opened it. I've kept this one in the box. But yeah.
Sometimes on Amazon they got like 50% off those McFarlane toys, and they always taunt me. You know, but
I want to start collecting more.
Get them out of the box. Mine's red.
I gotta ask: have any of you guys got your medieval Spawn action figures yet in the mail?
I didn't get it.
No,
okay, I have not.
Okay. All right, so
I know that Christopher Bouchard, who's in the chat, I think he got his, and so I think they should be going out. I'm assuming, but I have not seen any notification.
Every day this month, every day, just going outside, looking at my fucking porch, man.
I can't wait because I got all 3 of them. Like, let's go.
Also waiting on the Kubert and I think I got the Finch one. There's a Kubert book that I'm waiting on, and there's another book I'm waiting on. They're coming out soon.
I'm waiting on the Andy Kubert one.
Yeah, I'm waiting on the Andy one
as
well.
Andy Kubert, yeah.
You know what sucks? I backed the David Finch Art of Marvel. Never received it. If you go onto my Kickstarter, it doesn't show that I backed it, but I have the email saying your backer, whatever. And so I thought I forgot to back it until I just stumbled across the email the other day, and I was like, no, I did back it. I absolutely backed it. I never received it. So I don't know what to do about that.
You email him with that.
Who, Kickstarter or?
No, you message him. You message straight into their account, and it comes right up. And then you can also comment on their page.
Okay. Yeah. I'll have to try to do that. I know
do you have a build for it?
Yeah, no, I've got the email saying, like, you know, showing the evidence that says, you know, congratulations, you back David Finch's Art of Marvel, your backer number, whatever, share, tweet, that kind of thing, and it was there.
Well, I could pull mine out so you could take a look at it.
Shit!
You were supposed to make a video.
Oh, so that's right.
An appreciated comment because I didn't get it. But my point is, like, I want to figure out what the hell happened because, and I don't blame the Finches or anything, but I knew I backed it. And so I definitely did, but for some reason it did not come. So I got to figure that out. The Don is in the house. He just got done doing his 200 subscriber stream.
Congratulations, bud.
Congratulations, brother. He is a member of the channel, as we have established here today.
What are you doing up? Oh my God! I'm sorry. I can't stop coming. I'm sorry. Oh, it feels so good.
For the members of the channel, thank you so much. That is for you.
Yeah.
All right. Dennis Lame, did you forget to fill out the survey for your? I don't think so, because usually I get those and I fill them all out. I have gotten everything that I've ever backed out of Kickstarter. This is the only one that I didn't. So maybe I missed it. I don't know, but we'll find out. Maybe I'll message them. Maybe I can get it still. We'll see.
Message them, comment if they don't answer, and then they'll reply if you comment, but message first.
Okay. All right. I'm going to do that. All right, guys. We're going to get out of here. I will be back this Thursday at 8 p.m. for the Ronan Joe Show. Check it out. Hang out with me. Let's shoot the shit. Let's have a good time. Until then, we will be back here next Monday at 9 p.m. for the Spawn Review. We'll be looking at something awesome, as we always do. And I will say this to everybody in the chat that is hung out all night long. Be good to each other. Take care of one another. Know that I appreciate you. Look in the mirror and picture me naked. Peace.
Stay Gucci.